So here are going to be 3 tips to help you hit your driver more solid and easily gain more than 10, 20, 30 yards, depending on which of these is going to suit you best. Now, this is going to be in order because out of order, they're not going to make sense. So the first is going to be grip. I can't really tell you which way to go or which way to adjust your grip because I can't see where you're doing. So the most important thing that you can do is think about having a neutral grip. If you need to go stronger, that's a thing. But think about having a neutral grip, and once you've gripped the club, hold on to it. Don't fidget and take away and the downswing. Make sure you've got whatever pressure you're going to put in the left and right hand. You've got that pressure, and you're going to keep it consistent in your takeaway and in your downswing. You might see a guy like Xander Schauffele grip and regrip and grip and regrip at his during address, but in the takeaway and the downswing, he's holding on to the club. He's not making any adjustments through there. And if he does, it's unlikely that it's going to be a great shot. So keep that in mind. The second is going to be your sequencing. You want to take the shoulder and the chest away, along with the left hip. You want all these to move together to make your takeaway. And then in the downswing, you want to fire your left hip first if you're a right-handed golfer, and it would be your right hip if you're a left-handed golfer. You just reverse the two. You're going to fire your left hip or your hip first, and then you're going to immediately follow that with your arms. Now, you want these to be in a sequence, and everybody's body structure is going to be different. Some people have longer torso, some people have longer legs, longer arms. So you're going to need to find the timing in there, or at least the point in which you're able to clear your hips from your upper body so that you can get all the way around and then bring the club head around back square to impact. Usually if you take the lower body and the upper body away at the same time, you might come back to square, but at speed, likely the two are not going to be in sync. So you can find yourself often pulling the ball or splaying it way out to the right. Just depends on, again, like I said, your body position and your unique body makeup. The last of these is going to be your distance to the ball, like how close you're standing to the ball. I find so many players are standing so far away from the ball thinking they got to reach way out there to it. Now, there is a limit to this. I'm not telling you to stand right on top of the ball, but at least try some different distances. Let the club just settle and rest when you put it on the ground and see how far away from it or how close you can get to it without crowding it. Make some practice swings and see if you can't do the sequencing like we talked about, take away with the upper body and the lower body all at the same time, and then starting the downswing with the lower body. Now, you might have some nuance in there where maybe the upper body starts a little bit, but the key here is making sure that you're making a good turn. If you're not making a good turn, if you're just moving the arms to the side, you're likely going to either pull it or, depending on how you come across the ball, shoot it way out to the right. I don't want you to do that. I want you to be able to keep the ball in play within the two boundaries of the fairway, and at least be able to find it. So work on that takeaway, making a good turn, and then starting your downswing by using the left hip or the right hip, depending on if you're a left or right-handed golfer, using your hip to initiate that downswing. So use that in conjunction with the distance to the ball, because if you move closer to the ball and you're not in the proper sequence, you're going to find yourself absolutely hitting bad shots, because you're going to wonder why it's either going out to the right, going out to the left, and it's going to be simply because your sequencing is off. So take these 3 tips. Hold your grip solid. 2, make a good quality turn for your takeaway. Start the downswing with your hip. 3, distance to the ball. It's better to be a little closer than too far. Too far, you're never going to make a good swing. Closer, you've got a really good chance of hitting the ball solid. Take those tips. I'll see you out on the course.